Hey everybody, Forgotten Coins here, and today I wanted to show you a few of the new coins that I've gotten within the last month or 2 months now. It's been a little while since my last video that I posted here. I just took a little bit of a break throughout, December and a bit of January for the holidays, focusing on being with family and friends. And my work life has gotten a little hectic lately. But I'm back now again, trying to stick to the one video per week. It's always nice when you guys try and hold me accountable for that, give me a little bit of motivation on it. But first off, we'll start with this 1923 peace dollar. It's actually a San Francisco mint, and just got this really oddball. I wouldn't say it's crazy attractive for the amount of color it has. It's just, it's there. It's slightly interesting. Again, it's the San Francisco mint. So this one, when it gets into, higher grades past, MS61, 62, it starts to get a bit pricier. I think in 63, it's about $100 coin, and 64, let me see, I think it's $200 or $300. And so for this coin, it's going to be added to the coins I have, stockpiled for grading. But the future goal on this one is for 63. That's kind of the baseline I'm hoping. I think I only paid, a little over $50 for the coin. So even when you factor in grading fees, it's still pretty worth it, for a coin like this. But, some light marks, a couple hairlines, but nothing that's going to keep it from straight grading. It's got a bit of a die crack along the neck. And, in the proper light, this, golden toning, whether it was something that was left on the surface or whatnot, it's actually got some nice brightness. Sometimes you can kind of see that they get a little muddled. And even in this darker section here that goes up along the edge of Liberty's neck, it's even got a tiny bit of, blues, purples, greens, and reds. So on the reverse, there's not a whole lot of color. There's some faint line that runs from about the, in between the words United States all the way down to the right edge of the rock of the piece that the eagle's standing on top of. But here's that really tiny San Francisco mint mark. Some people say that they use the marks from the dimes at the time, but that's just kind of a reference to how small they are. And this one actually has, a fairly decent strike. Sometimes the piece, dollars can get really soft. The word dollar gets muddled. Same with the word piece. But you can kind of see them, fairly strong. And some good luster, especially on the reverse. Again, it always seems like the reverse of the coin is nicer than the obverse, but that's how it goes in the coin world. Next up is this memorial cent. This is a 1980 Philadelphia Lincoln cent, and I think you all know where I'm kind of going with this one. This is going to be in addition to my tape-toned US typeset. I've never seen a Lincoln cent, a modern Lincoln cent with this type of coloration and, style of toning. I don't really think it's from, the typical tab toning from, older coins on those certain types of albums. It's odd that it just stops by his shoulder. It's natural toning, don't get me wrong. Color progression's right. I'm not an expert on copper, but I got it from a pretty reputable dealer that, works in this kind of stuff. and I got a, pretty good price on it for what I think's a one-of-a-kind piece. If any of you have any thoughts on what created this type of toning and coloration, please let me know. The only thing I can think of is something that was laying on top of it. You can kind of tell that it wasn't something that was strictly adhered to the coin, because you can see a bit of that color progression, coming up between the edge of the date. By the 9/8, you see a bit of that purple, and then by his, far shoulder, by Liberty, it kind of creeps down, and there's a bit of spotting by his, the coat and his lapel right in the center here. But what's cool about this coin is it's not just the obverse that's toned, it's the reverse as well. And this thing just shines like crazy. It's really deep blues, really deep purples and reds. Honestly, I think the true views on this coin are going to be phenomenal. It might take a few tries to get it into a straight grade holder. I don't have much experience on how PCGS or NGC tends to grade modern copper, but I'm sure it's kind of, the way the rest of the toning market goes on, you win some, you lose some. And sometimes you just have to submit until you get, the grade you're looking for. But I'm really happy to have this piece in the collection. I don't think that it's ever going to leave until, unless I split up the set or I get some crazy amount of offer for that coin. And last up is this 1946S PCGS MS64 CAC Walking Liberty half dollar. I've added a few, I think I've got, this is either number 3 or possibly number 4 for the Walking Liberty half dollars that I've gotten recently. And this one, I wish the deepness of this blue toning kind of came through, but it's, not the best lighting for this type of color. But it's a really nice, a really deep blue that goes throughout the entirety of the coin. It's not the highest grade, but I think it's got really good eye appeal. And you don't often find, 1, toned Walking Liberty half dollars, but 2, coins that are entirely blue throughout the surface. I'm not a huge fan of the, how brown it gets, and spotty it gets through this top right corner of the coin. I purchased it. I'm gonna have to do, maybe next video we'll do a follow-up, just a short video on the few Walking Liberty half dollars that I have. But you can always go back to the half dollar video I made a little while back on what I currently have for Walking Liberty halves. And the point of this one is, if I haven't mentioned it already, is to get one to fit my typeset. And I haven't found one that I'm, 100% committed to. And, worst case scenario, I can always keep or sell the ones that I'm not interested in. But again, the reverse on this one has this really, that deep blue going throughout the rest of the coin. And it's not really showing up in this lighting. This coin does have a true view. And even then, that type of toning it seems a little bit darker in the true view. In a bit of a whiter light, this coin just pops with all that bright blue. But that's all I have for today. I think we'll end up making a follow-up video for the decision on those Walking Liberty half dollars. this Peace Dollar. It's going to be added to the grading submission, as well as this 1980 memorial cent. And of the three, this penny's got to be my favorite. I'm not huge into modern coins, but you know, for me, the toning, you know, stumps it all. But you can't get any better than this. But that's it for me, everybody, today. Let me know what you think in the comments, and you know how your holiday was. But I'll look forward to seeing you down below, and have a great day.